Oh,
Yeah, recording in progress.
like I said, I'm like a construction worker, so like I do maybe two Zooms a decade. So it's not,
Are you really? Are you a construction worker?
yeah, yeah, I'm a
Oh, dude.
contractor. So yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's rad. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of On Tyranny. My name is Kurt, with the Bad Penny. That's my website where I put all my writings in one place. It's a silly moniker that I came up with a few years ago, and you can read about that on my website. This is the latest edition of On Tyranny, a series in which I speak with artists about how authoritarianism that has now become entrenched in America is impacting artists in particular. It seems like everybody's talking about what's going on these days and the news, but I feel like artists aren't getting as much of a fair share in that conversation as they should. And also, um, artists are a vital national resource, and they're also a canary in a coal mine in a lot of ways. So anyway, to cut to it, very very excited today to have Eric Grossman, guitarist vocalist for.
I'm Chris. I'm Chris.
I'm sorry, I did it. I knew it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was a joke. Oh, so we started off by joking around, by so yeah. All right, it's Chris. We have Chris. Is it Megyery? Megyery?
Yeah,
Okay,
Megyery.
thank you. Who's also a guitarist vocalist from the Brokedowns, and you guys have been around. You're on Red Scare Industries, which is I interviewed your bandmates Elway yesterday. Um, when did you guys start? I don't know if I caught that. How long you been?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I've been in the band since 2002, but
Uh-huh.
John's been doing this band since Bill Clinton was president. So he started this band when he was in middle school. So,
Okay. Wow.
but
Cool.
so John has had a band called the Brokedowns since,
Yeah.
yeah,
Middle school.
98 or something like that.
Did you play any of those gigs when you were
I met him. That's how I met him. Yeah. I'm a couple years older than him, and I saw their first gig. They were like on fucking terrible. And then like a couple years later that I saw him again, they were like, "Oh, you guys are way better." And then I joined the band.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, that's very cool. And you guys are you in Chicago proper or outside?
No, I'm our drummer lives in the city, and the other three of us live in the suburbs, with what's called the Fox Valley
Uh,
area, about
okay.
30 miles outside of the city.
Okay.
So, and we've been here most of the time.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Um, I know you just had a show 4 days ago at
Mhm.
Burlington Bar
Mhm.
in Chicago. How did that go?
It was a blast. It was a very good time. It was a
Yeah.
record release show, so yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Congratulations on the record, which is called uh, Let's Tip the Landlord, which
Mhm.
I do have to ask, do you mean like give the landlord like a tithe, like 10%, like, well, actually, I guess with church
Mm.
it's 10%, with restaurants it's 20%, but or do you mean like tip over the landlord, let's knock over?
It's a satirical title. Your first one was right. I like the idea of a tithe, just an automatic, not even tipping for the services, just like giving, no matter what, just giving to the forgotten soldiers, the people behind the scenes, the landlords who keep it all running. It's a play on the. There's a Dead Kennedys song called "Let's Lynch the Landlord," and it's kind of a play on that. So
Right, right. And you also I can't let this go without remarking upon it, is that there's a character in the album called Alpha Dog Serum X,
yeah,
or yeah, which is it's actually a drug, right? That's
yeah, it's like a fictional all-in-one supplement that's like a financial and mental and physical wellness kind of a thing. Yeah.
did that did that stem from the idea? Okay, so have you read these reports about um And we will get into the life and death stuff pretty soon, but
Mhm.
have you read these reports about like billionaires, like older ones especially, who are getting like blood transfusions from younger
Yeah.
people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is the one guy. What's Brian Johnson? He's getting his teenage son's blood
From
infused.
AC/DC?
No, no, no. I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. No, he's some company called like Imatrex or some shit that probably
Right.
sells pharmaceuticals and human trafficking. But he's the guru right now for that. And he's
Okay.
for the last couple of years. But yeah, I love all that stuff. I'm a passive observer of all the like cringy online wellness people.
Oh,
I
really?
love it. Oh yeah, yeah, it's good stuff.
Are you really good at detecting the AI? Like,
Uh, I was,
yeah.
but now it's getting to the point where like it's ruining everything. Like now, like my wife will compile Instagram reels for me to watch, and now I have to like it's removed the joy of these what
Yeah,
once
man.
frivolous hidden camera things of human tragedy that we all like America's Funniest Home Video kind of things where we could just like and now you have to like wonder like is that real? Like it's a drag.
It is. It
When I
kind of
can when
reminds
I can detect it, I'm immediately like furious about it though.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of I guess this would have been like the late aughts, maybe, when like sarcasm became so ubiquitous and
Oh,
so, like that it got to the point where like, are you being sarcastic or not? You know what I'm talking about? It was like,
I do. And
yeah,
I see you're wearing a Marvel hat, and I don't want to shit on Marvel, but I feel like Marvel movies did that. Like
yes,
everyone's funny.
yeah.
What did I just watch? I just watched the movie, and I was like, why is everyone fucking funny in this? Why is every character is witty and like it's upsetting. I don't
And
think
it's
that's
a,
AI as much, but that's something it's leading. It's in the same direction.
but you're absolutely right. And the irony of the irony of the irony is that I'm kind of wearing this ironically. I mean, this is a free hat that I got, and I was
Sure,
like,
sure.
sometimes I just want to go about my day,
Yeah,
just looking like the most innocuous person who gets no attention,
yeah,
when
yeah.
I don't want to go out every day like wearing my Jesus Lizard shirt and like
Sure.
have people. So, but
So
like
you're wearing the hat ironically. You're guilty of the very crime, the very crime that you were.
that we're talking about
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and criticizing,
yeah.
right?
No, yeah, yeah.
But you're totally right. I completely agree with you. Because it's what's really weird is like the Marvel universe is like the whole idea is like there's limitless imaginations and multiverses and like
Right,
unfathomable permutations of what could happen and what could be and what organisms could be. But the sense of humor is like shared. It's like the every character has the exact same sense of humor, and
right.
down to like the beat of the
Yeah,
jokes, where it's like you have a pause and there's something like, oh, Hulk's gonna take what is it, Loki and just like slam him and slam him, slam him.
yeah. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is the most infinite concept in the world, but everyone has this kind of like what a like kind of like cool sense of humor about everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
totally
wonder how it'll age. I'll bet you in like 10, 15 years, people are going to be like looking back on that, or it'll still be around exactly the same way.
yeah, I haven't thought about that. You're right though, because when the people who grew up with the people who grew up with Marvel become parents, their kids are gonna look at like, oh, like Marvel movies, that's like what my
Yeah.
parents like. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Cringe, man. Cringe.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if I'm ready for that. So let's talk about something a little more light, which is when you play your Chicago show. Um, it's insane that I even have to ask this question, which I don't have to ask this question, but I will. But I mean, it's insane that it's a legitimate question. Did you have did it cross your mind at all that there might be like, if not, ICE agents like going after people, at least some sort of an ICE presence, or you might see some ICE agents on the street when you're there.
Not at the show. I wasn't concerned about that. I think it's kind of a low. I mean, not really, but in my daily life, I'm a contractor, so like
Yeah,
it's been an actual reality on the ground. Like I work in new construction, so like these a lot of the like general contractors are having a huge problem getting projects finished because people are terrified in Chicago, and rightfully so, you know.
yeah,
So there's been a lot of things where, like, you know, when you're doing a new house, like everything, I build cabinetry and closets. So I'm like the very last guy. So I have like projects that are pushed way out because like these general contractors, who in many cases are predatory, awful human beings, you know what I mean? But they're
sure.
relying on labor that is like terrified, you
Yeah,
know. And they come in, a lot of the projects have been like, you know, pushed way out, and a lot of people are coming to work like late night on weekends and stuff to try to avoid it because like I mean, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anything at any projects I've been on, but in the streets and everything, it's pretty obvious, you know.
wow.
But yeah,
I hadn't heard that before, that people like are changing their work hours
yeah, yeah,
to,
yeah. Well, in construction, it's like, you know, it's like really the normal rules don't really apply. You know, there's not a lot of like I'm doing like residential construction on like with single houses, not massive, massive projects.
okay,
So it's the Wild West always. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they're you can work whenever you want. Like I'm self-employed. Like I go whenever I want. And a lot of like contractors are like start later at night, you know. Don't be out like during the day, you know, that kind of stuff.
Is that going to get even more challenging during the winter when it's like super cold?
Yeah, probably. Although I've heard it's getting better. I just talked to a guy today who's Ukrainian, and a lot of his subcontractors are like Eastern European and stuff like that. And he said that it's chilled out quite a bit. So,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Um,
horrible.
yeah. So yeah, I do want to ask this. I didn't know going into this interview that you were in the field in the field that you're in, but is there any fear or concern among the people who are doing the hiring that they might get like penalized or in trouble, or is it only? I mean,
No.
that's the thing. I just
Yeah.
this whole debate. It's like no matter where you stand, it's like wouldn't the obvious solution be to like at least have a talking to with the people who are doing the hiring?
Yeah, yeah. Some kind of path. In my world, it's like a lot of subcontractors are immigrants, and it's great work for them. And it's not it's I wouldn't say that the companies are owned by other immigrants and they're hiring their friends and their family,
Yeah,
and a decent it's a great way to make a living, you know.
yeah,
um and in general, I when I say the general contractors are predatory, I don't necessarily mean that they're just like trying to make as much money as possible. We're not talking about like horrible like meat processing
right.
facilities or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're hiring painters and drywallers and stuff like that, and you just want to get a decent price. And it's mostly Eastern in Chicagoland. It's mostly Eastern Europeans and Hispanic. You know, so it's like that's just who's doing the work, and those
yeah,
are the people that are getting, you know, the most of the, you know, problems right now. So
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
So okay, so I was fortunate enough to study abroad in Santiago, Chile in the late 90s, and that was less than a decade after Pinochet was in power. And he, like I said, he was no longer in power, but the effects of his reign were still being felt. And there's some examples might include like if you're on a bus and a car would backfire, people would really sh get really shaken up. Or
Hmm.
like, every week at the universities there would be tanks come in and just tear gas kids who are just protesting for lower tuition. And there was also, there's just seeing outside of banks, there was always guys with submachine guns. And there's also one thing that people just always get surprised when I tell them is like during Pinochet's reign, like the birth rate like tanked because men felt so emasculated by living
Hmm.
under a strongman
Hmm.
that it really affected the actual like growth of the population. So all of which is to say is like, you mentioned you touched on sort of what it feels like in Chicago, but can you talk a little more about it? Can you talk about more like sort of the impact of even knowing that ICE could be in the vicinity, what that does to people and how, if it affects how people, for example, don't talk Spanish as much anymore, or if they speak in hushed tones, or if they are just more like wary or paranoid. Are you noticing kind of behaviors that are different now?
I mean, I'm not noticing it with, I'm pretty isolated from it myself, but my son is in high school and he's in a mostly Hispanic area right next to us, and it's just been horrifying. It's like the raids have like deliberately been brutal and like, you know, it's supposed to look grotesque what they're doing. You know what I mean? This is a shock. This is supposed to elicit a reaction from us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, Mike, a lot of his friends and things like that, I think it's like probably silently affecting him in a way that's, that we won't even know about for years. So obviously we're insanely privileged. Like I don't have to deal with it. Like it's just not a reality for me. But like my wife the other day, I am the poorest person in a very nice neighborhood. All right. The only reason I live in my neighborhood is because I bought like the shittiest house and fixed it up. Okay. I
right.
wouldn't be able to, and a group of city workers were getting harassed by ICE the other day. Like they work for the fucking town, and they're just getting shaken down by it. I didn't see it. All the neighbors came out and like I just like bizarre. But even all of this, like I can't compare it to Pinochet, but like
Yeah,
the time you can, I feel like it's gonna turn a little bit because of how incompetent Trump is, and like the
right.
economy's starting to be visibly like it's starting to get bad enough to where his poll numbers are starting to sink, but it's really scary to think like what if the fucking economy was like skyrocketing right now and everything was going great and this was happening.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I wonder if how the public sentiment would, because everyone in my neighborhood is fucking disgusted. Even like I know a couple like right winger kind of neighbors and everything, and even they are like they can't abide this shit. Like they're like disgusted by this. But if the economy was killing it right now
right.
and the vibes were just a little different, how would they be then? You know what I mean?
Totally, totally.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
get the shining light is that we're gonna be in a recession. So like that's the thing to look forward to. I
I
don't know.
know.
That's the
Finger,
one saving grace. Come on, fucking
can you imagine telling like your parents or your grandparents like fingers crossed that we have a dumbass as president because that'll save democracy maybe. It's like
that kind of is the reality of it all, is that like he is so fucking stupid, and like what's going to happen when we have an actual really competent,
yeah,
slick, likable someone who doesn't make you disgusted when they speak, like
yeah.
what's going to happen then? You know what I mean? Is this a one-time thing? I don't for us, I don't know.
Someone like just a real magnetic, handsome guy like Ted Cruz, I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, someone who's a fucking hunk who just like throbs everyone up. Yeah, exactly, dude.
Right. Um, So, so I do want to, make sure that we touch on a really important part of this conversation, which is like how what's going on is affecting you as an artist. Is it uh, um, is it affecting your writing, your performance at all? Is it you know it's kind of an open-ended question, so you can kind of take it where you will. But I mean, you find that anything that's going on right now, the climate and how things have changed in this country is impacting your creative process.
Yeah, I mean, it always is. Like all of our music is kind of, not political, but like everything is a some kind of social commentary. Even like there's like this record, there's one song that I would call like kind of a love song, and that song is called "Date Night in the Hague." You know what I mean? It's literally about war crimes. So like even a personal song is kind of, but I'm not really writing songs right now because we have just finished this record. So, but I'm sure, yeah. I mean, fuck, everything is. It's always a part of it, you know.
Hmm.
And performing, like we don't play a ton, so I mean, haven't really noticed anything really. But I mean, times like this, it's just nice to be around people. So you know,
Yeah, yeah.
you should be.
It must feel gratifying to put out a record right now too. Like you're having your say, right? And do you feel like
I mean,
anything? Yeah.
the first song on this record is like the chorus is "Are we going to Mars or not?" And I wrote that song 3 years ago, and and it's very prescient, and it is. But I mean, the same shit's been happening. Like it's like we've been living in a fucking nightmare for quite a while, and you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
this is kind of the next step, you know. But it's worse than I think it's worse than anyone could have imagined. You know what I mean? I honestly did not think it would be this fast and this fucking absurd and this gross.
Yeah.
And yeah. But like I said, even like I mean, I have personal conversations with people who I would call um very, very forgiving of Donald Trump. And the vibe I've been getting is like revulsion, you know. And I
Mhm.
think it, with the Epstein shit, and then I mean, and the ICE stuff, and the vibe to me is revulsion. But
Right.
and that's the fucking first time I felt that in a decade. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I've noticed, it's the first like little glimmer of like, oh
Right.
me, you know.
Right. Who's
I'm not going to be satisfied until this guy is like, until the whole. It's going to be impossible to satisfy me unless like everyone's in prison, a
yeah,
full national reckoning. But he's
right.
going to die in his sleep at 125 and be the first trillionaire, and that's going
Yeah.
to be probably what happens.
You mentioned someone Epstein. Who's this? Who's Epstein?
The financier, he was a New York, a famous New York money guy, clean as a whistle.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
I like those guys. I mean, if it weren't for those guys, it wouldn't be America,
exactly. Those guys
Yeah.
make things happen.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have no problem with that.
I have no problem. I have no problem with that either. Wall Street keeps the world going around. I do want to go back again, kind of to somehow make this a little more serious. So it's hard because you're so much fun to talk to, man.
uh,
Um,
see you too.
what what do you tell your do you have just one son? Is that right?
No, I have two sons.
Two sons.
Uh, yeah, they're
What do you
pretty.
tell them?
They're pretty. They understand what's happening. They're. My kids are 12 and 14, and
Okay.
yeah, that's another like kind of a I hate this term, but like a vibe shift I've noticed is that like last year it really fucking felt like, oh my god, like everyone is like all on board with this shit, and like it felt horrible. We were in Mexico. We were in Mexico on election day last year,
Okay.
and it was it was the worst. But
Yeah.
even then, like all of their friends, like my 12-year-old has a friend who's like kind of Trumpy, and he's like, it's not cool anymore. Like it's bad now.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think they understand that this is an anomaly, but uh,
Uh-huh.
hopefully an anomaly, but I don't know.
I mean, but they understand in the context of like, I mean, they can't potentially grasp like all of U.S. history. I mean, at that age, they've only
Yeah,
been through so many history classes. I mean, like, but they grasp that. what's going on right now is wrong and that maybe it'll pass. Is that kind of what you
Seems
mean?
that way. Yeah, it's hard to like understand that we're in a. I mean, who knows if we're in like what how everything is gonna end up, but they definitely don't understand like this long expanse of time, and you can't exactly go like, well, this is just one of our little dips where like this where we every now and then, like every 20 years, like Jeepers Creepers, we get like a reality TV star uh who a lecherous depraved celebrity just leads our country, and he infects 30% of the population to fucking act like fucking animals, and this will come out. It's like this. I don't know. This shit's never happened. I don't remember anything. Like, I don't remember anything this fucking bizarre.
Wow.
I don't remember times this bizarre.
Yeah. And I mean, does it, well, I don't know if I don't know if it's really a question to ask, but I mean, like, how, how are you able to process the notion that it's going to take so much time to undo the damage that's been done in the context of having kids and having a family?
Well,
You,
I mean, I don't. What do you mean done? Like undo? Like what? Undo what? Because there's.
I mean,
I think as like I think we can move on as people pretty quickly from like horrific things. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like it didn't take that long to go from 9/11 happening to like, hey, we shouldn't invade
Well,
Afghanistan.
that's true.
I remember
Yeah.
a pretty big movement being against that, not the
Yeah.
whole, but like vibes change pretty quickly.
That's true.
Um,
That's true. I'm thinking
and
of like the rewriting of history books that are in schools and thinking about like museums being, overhauled and stuff that seems like it's gonna in just like US aid being cut. I mean, it's so hard to get people into office who are willing to run on a platform like let's restore funding. It's all about people. People usually like the general sentiment on people who vote is like they want their taxes cut, and so
right.
that's kind of
And
like
it's easy to break shit and it's harder to fix things. But uh I mean, everything you just mentioned is just like we're in the conservatives' wet dream right now. We're in the
yeah,
absolute. This is everything they've ever wanted. They've always wanted to cut US. This is nothing new. This is not Trump. This is conservatism. This is what they want. They want less spending. They want austerity, and they want these things.
right,
And I think the one silver lining, hopefully, is that maybe this inspires more. It's already inspiring more kind of populist, radical left wing things. Like, I don't think there's a fucking Mamdani if there's no Trump.
yeah,
And Bernie and Trump were like 2016 at the same time, but Bernie's the most like respected politician in America right now.
yeah,
And would that have been the case if it wasn't for Trump?
yeah.
So does this kind of inspire more left-wing populism and more
Mhm.
positive changes? It could. It's not
Very,
impossible.
very good point. Plus there is something to be said for the transparency, just the openness and the brazenness of what they're doing. It's like it's going to be an example, where future generations are going to be able to see, well, okay, if we let these people get in charge again, we know what they're going to do, because they did it out in the open. Um,
Yeah, like the Trump corruption, like just the corruption. If it was just that,
yeah,
that would be like his like just the crypto shit and the fucking watches. And I just read about his phone today. Like the phone, like no one's gotten there. He took all these pre-orders for a phone, and no one's
yeah,
got.
yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you just had that, that would be like historical and
Dude,
unprecedented.
there's Trump vodka. He doesn't
Yeah,
drink.
but like all, all of that, like
And
that is
guitars.
so
And
it's
guitars.
it's like
Sorry.
cartoonishly silly and everything like that.
Right.
But like that, I had a point. I forgot where I was going with it. But
Sorry.
like, it's okay. It's me. My brain's dog shit. But
The grift, the
like
grift, the
yeah, like if all of the grifting, like, but the like I hope that Donald Trump has like put an end to kind of the polished, manicured politician. If there's another good thing, like
Yeah,
I hope he fucking permanently killed that, you
that's true.
know, that
Yeah,
kind of like just horseshit politician speak.
right.
To get on the national level, you're going to have to be a little more authentic,
Uh-huh.
and maybe that's another good thing, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Time will tell, you know.
You've done a great job talking me off the ledge, man. I think out of all the conversations I've had,
I'm
you
just trying to convince myself, dude. It's all bullshit. It's gonna be so fucking horrible, dude. These fucking approval ratings gonna skyrocket in a year. You watch, it's gonna be a
I know.
nightmare.
I know. All right, so you got like 2 minutes left. Do you have like any sort of advice or call to action, if you haven't already said it so far?
I don't have it. No, I don't. I
Okay.
don't take advice from me. I'd be the wrong guy to take it
Okay. All
from.
right.
Yeah.
I'll just say then in your stead that I think having conversations with having this conversation, having conversations with people like you is so critical. And
Yeah.
I think the fiercest weapon that authoritarians can use is to divide people and isolate people. And
Mhm.
the fact that we're talking about it, I think, is a great thing. So we got just a little time left, and I don't want us to get cut off. Can you plug your dates and shows and stuff? Your album just came out on Friday, correct?
Yeah. It's on all of the streaming services. You can get it on Bandcamp or redscare.net, I would assume. I'm
Yep.
the worst guy at this. This is what Eric would be good at this. We don't have
Let's
a ton
tip
of
the
shows. We're
landlord to
playing
some.
in Madison, Wisconsin in January, and we're playing in Montreal in May. And I'm sure we'll play more than that, but that's all I know of right now.
Yeah, you got a show. Madison January 10, Montreal May 16, and the album's called Let's Tip the Landlord.
Mm-hmm.
And Bandcamp, the Brokedowns, pretty easy to find. Thank you so much, Kris, for talking with me. This has been so much
Absolutely,
fun.
man.
I've really enjoyed this, and I freaking love your record. I only interview bands whose records I really like. So
Oh, I appreciate it. I really
yeah,
appreciate it. Thanks, Kurt. That
yeah.
was cool meeting you, man.
You too.
All right, man. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.